Hey everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Tara, and we are going to talk about the Twilight Zone, Season 2, Episode 28. It's called Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. That's a longer title than usual. I had to do a whole extra sort of swing in my voice to get to the end of that one.
It's a fun title.
So it is a fun title. The premise of this one, of course, is the bottle episode. I mean, admittedly, a lot of Twilight Zone, classic Twilight Zones are bottle episodes, but this is the diner in the snowstorm, where a couple of police officers have heard reports of something crashing in a lake. There are footprints in the snow, and it leads to a diner, and they jump to some obscene conclusions about UFOs, come to the diner, and the only people in the diner, other than the person who works there, obviously, is a group of people who came off of a bus. And when they asked the bus driver how many people were on the bus, he says there's 6, obviously plus him. However, there's 7 people in the diner, plus him. Which one is the alien? Or, more specifically, which one is the Martian? So that is the idea. That is the gist of the episode. Unfortunately, none of the actors were Matt Damon to make it obvious, so we had to go with. Look, we're recording this late. I'm extra sleepy. The jokes are going to be dumb tonight. All right, I'm just going to have to live with it. Just going to have to live with it. So that's just the episode. Tara, did you enjoy Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up?
Yes. I mean, was there any chance that I would say no?
That's fair.
It's a fun episode.
It's a very fun episode. I liked it as well. I don't think it's perfect. It kind of hits this interesting middle ground for me, where it's a really fun watch. It ticks a lot of my boxes. It's a bottle episode. The core mystery. I mean, forget the alien part. Just the idea that there's one person extra who shouldn't be there, and they're trying to figure out who's kind of snuck in, and no one's really sure how. I love that idea.
It's got a little bit of a thing from another world going on, huh?
Yeah. And then you also have some fun stuff at the ending. However, I do think the extra reveal at the end...
You don't like the twist on twist?
I don't dislike it per se, but the episode sort of feels relatively psychological and then sort of takes a sharp turn at the end into a bit more just let's do something goofy and kind of silly. It's
actually not too dissimilar from the alien episode with Burgess Meredith, who's coming back next week apparently. But
he is, yes.
The last one we watched with him, where he was some Mr. Dingle the Strong.
I was thinking of that, and I was thinking, I thought back to that, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't really particularly into the ending of that one. And this one is definitely silly. This one is definitely better. Don't get me wrong. There's more fun to be had with the ending of this because it's a bit more. I don't know. I feel like the twist at the end. I mean, we're in spoilers, so I mean, I don't have to avoid necessarily say what it is. But I feel like the twist at the end of this one, which is that there's also someone in the diner from Venus who are already colonizing the Earth, and the Martian's too late. I feel like if it focused more on the idea that the Martian is there to colonize, but it isn't. The whole mystery is just which one's the Martian. So the whole idea that we're doing a twist like, oh, there's another alien already here that's colonizing, feels kind of like, but that wasn't really what the episode was about. it was just about who is the odd one out. It was about
paranoia.
Yeah. So it feels a little, just kind of like, just a little bit left of the theme of the episode, and because of that, it feels a bit tacked on to me.
It seems like it's going to be an episode like the Monsters Are Due on Maple Street, which is a very like deep episode, and this one is not like that. It's just like a fun, I don't know, like almost sci-fi Agatha Christie. I mean, at least for the first 90% of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like 90%.
I did enjoy it. I liked watching it, even though, like, even the image for the for the episode really spoils something in it that's kind of major.
Well, yeah, not everyone looks at IMDb admittedly before they watch episodes, but
yeah.
I
mean, I did. I checked it out. I was like, oh, what a bummer. IMDb.
So
I should write an email or two.
So that would be my main critique, and then my other more minor critique is that there is one character who I did find a little bit annoying. The Joker old man character is a bit obnoxiously in your face, I would say.
Avery? I thought it was great.
You thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought he was so fun.
I felt
I mean,
like
he was so into it.
yeah, but he was just after a while he was just kind of yelling the most obvious like silly joke to say.
Take me to your leader. He's yelling it to the jukebox. I thought that was funny.
I think it was his voice was just great. I think it was a different actor perhaps that it might have sold me on it. I don't know which actor I'd even think of to put in
But
that
he's
role.
got like fish eyes. Like they look two different directions. He's so crazy looking. I don't know. He's such a cool
True.
looking guy. He's got a great face, great voice. I liked him. He was part of the fun of the episode. Do you think Tarantino was kind of inspired by this for his Hateful Eight movie?
I mean, I would guarantee that he saw it. I'm not so
Let's get
sure.
some Hateful Eight vibes.
I'm not so. I mean, it's in the snow and it's in one location. I'm not so sure though. This is the first example and the only example that Tarantino saw of that style of premise.
Maybe.
So there's probably
What
a
about
lot.
when the sheriff walked in and said he's taking this girl to Red Rock to hang? No?
Now I'm sleepy, but I think you're making fun of me and you're adding things that weren't in the episode. Just that. But I feel like there's probably a list of like 50 westerns that inspired that movie more than
He takes from all genre.
than this. But maybe it was. I mean, for all you know, I mean, maybe it was the thing from the other world that inspired it. He's like, oh, this is a cool location in the snow, and they're all isolated. They don't know who's behind things. Like, maybe it was that.
Yeah.
He's a man of diverse taste.
It just reminded me of it a little bit, which is a movie that I adore. So.
Plus, there was no feet in this episode, and I feel like
There weren't. There's footprints.
there's footprints, but Tarantino likes bare feet, bare lady feet in your face and the
It's in
camera.
the snow.
That wouldn't stop him. What in fact was there?
I don't remember seeing bare feet in Hateful Eight, and I've seen that movie a lot.
Do you know what? I'll give him credit. I think he restrained himself because he knew it'd be ridiculous to somehow get someone in their bare feet in that movie. That's
It'd be
why.
so funny if what's her name takes off her socks and puts them in front of the fire or something.
That's why he was making up for it in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because that movie's full of, especially
It's
full
like
of the
double
feet.
feet. It's like a big FU to the audience. Like, you want to point out the feet? Well, now you get more feet.
Oh
Anyway.
dear. Yeah, so like I say, the core mechanic of the episode, which is the two cops come to the diner, and it's like, okay, so how many people are supposed to be here? The bus driver says 6. Think, yeah, 6 people. We don't have a manifest. It's a bus. We're not a plane. And it was 6. And then the cop's like, yeah, but there's 7 people here. And he looks around. And he's like, but, huh? And it becomes this kind of like, half of the episode is this everyone sort of like just basically trying to justify that they were on the bus and sort of why. And you've got the pompous guy who is like, I've been in Boston for my meeting at 9 a.m. This is outrage that we're snowed in. The bridge is shut. Oh, this is terrible. You've got the dancer or the ex-dancer.
So there's been a lot of like blonde dancers in these episodes.
Do you think Rod Serling's got a type?
I think maybe.
Yeah, maybe it does. Honestly, there's a moment later on with her because there's a the driver says that he was the driver says that she was definitely on the bus, and the officer's like, but you don't remember anyone else. Why do you know she was on the bus? He's like, because she's the only one I noticed, and she kind of smiles, and that was fine. Like, whatever, right? He's saying I noticed her because she was attractive. Look, as a guy, I get it, right? Like. The attractive ones stick out a little bit, all right?
I mean, she's like full on glam too.
Yeah, but
For
some reason
she's traveling to in the sun or in the snow.
For some reason, though, later on when they're all getting back on the bus, the driver sort of helps her on, and both him and the cop just sort of like look at her ass, and then both bend over to get a better look at it as she's going up the little, couple of steps onto the bus.
Yeah, it's a little gross.
And then they look at each other and kind of like, That was a fine bit of ass, if you do say so myself. I agree, good sir. Yes, that was a hot bit of toddy. Oh.
Yeah, they sound so British now.
Because my pompous
ironic
voice. I'll do it in whatever accent I please. I'm not matching the characters.
I approve.
But they all die in the bridge anyway, apparently. So I mean, it's actually kind of a dark ending when you stop and like think about it.
Yeah. So I guess the alien faked a phone call that the bridge was safe to travel on.
I assume. They don't really clarify what his powers are. They just they have the lights flicker, the jukebox plays on its own, and the sugar things all explode.
Yeah. It's all an illusion.
Well, that's what it says later, yes. I mean, it all looks pretty physically happening, but yeah, it's partly an illusion. I mean, I did like on a basic practical sense, I did like the effect of like the third arm like coming out. I mean, and it's obviously just someone standing behind him under his coat with the arm, but it looked good. It didn't look bad.
Yeah.
So
I think the actor sells it too.
Yeah. The third eye on the bartender, the Venetian, the eye obviously is very static and just looks like it's kind of stuck on and whatever. That's what it is.
Probably looked great in low definition TV.
Yeah, I imagine a CRT in the 1960s and fuzzy black and white over-the-air reception probably masked it quite a bit to make it.
Most people were just fascinated by the whole twist on twist.
Yes.
Not to notice the poor makeup job on the eye, on the third eye.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of why my problem is with the ending a little bit. Even though I do have fun with the actual effects and whatnot and what they're doing, is that the whole idea of why he's there, why either of them are there, it's not been what the episode's been about up until that point. It's just it's kind of brought up here just so they can have this extra little twist. It was, for me, I was way more engaged when it was about who's the one in the room who's extra, and the couples are like, well, it's we can relate the couples because we were together. It's just one person. But then there's that moment where the young woman looks at her husband or boyfriend and is like, I thought you had a pimple or a mole on your chin. And it's like, wait, can they shapeshift? And no one even suggested it could shapeshift. She just kind of jumps to that conclusion. And the other guy's
hiding as a loved one. We don't know what the alien powers are, other than they can explode sugar bottles.
Yeah, and the older man's kind of, he immediately is kind of self-aware and says, look, we're all just going to get power out and start like almost making up reasons why we can't trust each other when there's no reason to. We're here. I've been with my wife for 30 years, and she's sort of looking at him like, I'm just making sure, just in case it isn't you anymore.
He's so offended by it too.
Yeah. No. I mean, they're eclectic about. You've only got 25 minutes to kind of establish like 9 characters in this, essentially, because you've got the old like asshole who turns out to be the Martian. You've got the bartender who turns out to be from Venus. You've got the young couple, that's 2 characters. You've got the older couple, so another 2 characters. So that's 6. You've got 2 cops. You've got the dancer. You've got the bus driver. You got the Joker. That's 11 characters. Ooh. Now, admittedly, the second cop is basically just there in the background. It doesn't really matter. So I'll say 10. There's 10 characters in this. You kind of have to some extent.
He said to check out butts.
Was that the second cop or the first guy? I can't remember which cop it was, but
the younger one I thought had more dialogue.
Fair enough. They look kind of similar to me, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it probably would have worked fine with just one cop.
Yeah, there was no reason to have 2. Although maybe that was just more realistic, was to have 2, but
plus they can talk to each other, I suppose, about the crash site.
Yeah, some quick and easy exposition. That's a possibility. Were you panicking at the start that they were having asbestos thrown on top of them?
You know me. I don't know if it's asbestos or not. It might be.
Yeah, you've basically ruined Snow from this era for me, because I immediately thought of it now as well. Yeah. And I would never have thought of that before. So, Rod Serling standing there in this fake snow, giving us
smoking,
the little monologue.
Smoking and inhaling asbestos all around. It might be like cornflakes or something painted.
Yeah, even the Martian at the end talks about how good smoking is. He's like, smoking's not on Mars, and he's like, this is delightful. I'm like, all right, Rod, calm down.
Okay.
With your agenda. All right.
That was clearly written in by their sponsors.
Yeah, I think it was. Oh dear.
So smooth, even a Martian could smoke it.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah. No, I mean the episode is good. It is actually very easy to watch. It moves very quickly because you have so many characters bouncing off of each other. That's the upside to it. Is that while there's a lot of characters to kind of establish, and I actually think it does a decent job of establishing them. I mean, some better than others. The young couple is just a young couple. They have like 2 lines. Like that moment that I described where she kind of looks at him and says, "Didn't you have a mole on your chin?" That's almost their entire like lines of dialogue. Is that there's maybe like one other exchange. Otherwise, because the older couple gets more time, the ones who are further up to the front of the diner get way more time to actually speak. But the upside to it is that there's a lot more bouncing back and forth, maybe a lot more than you typically get in a Twilight Zone episode. And because they're all kind of getting involved, because they're all kind of playing part of the guessing game, and they're getting just a little bit nervous, a little bit on edge, that there's like a a 7th passenger, like some mysterious one of them doesn't belong. And I think that's the feeling you get from that is I think something the episode excels at. Ending's a little bit tacked on, but it is fun. And me, I love a good bottle episode. I love the trapped in the location in the snow setting.
Yeah. I enjoyed all the reveals at the end. John Hoyt, by the way, is famous for Star Trek.
I don't know if being in the cage is famous for being in Star Trek, okay?
He was the drunk the drunk starship doctor who's getting Captain Pike drunk. They're probably going to have him in the new series. Not the actor, obviously. He's long gone, but the character.
Yeah. The actor died in 1991.
Yeah. But his character is probably going to be in the new Strange New World series.
Yes.
I heard rumor that he might be played by the Reanimator. Jeffrey Combs.
Oh, wait, you actually have heard that this character's going to be in it? It's not just you?
Well, I imagine he's going to be in it because he was in the cage, and we haven't seen their doctor yet.
True. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. That was just a rumor. I would love to see Jeffrey Combs there, if anyone's listening.
I mean, I'm always down for more Jeffrey Combs, so you're never going to hear me argue about Jeffrey Combs being
That was the last way you... You'll understand that when you watch Deep Space Nine.
I'm so sorry that I know Jeffrey Combs from Reanimator, which is like clearly his most famous role.
I brought that up first.
I mean, sure.
This time.
All right, Jesus. Okay, that was Will the Real Martian please stand up? But yeah, the Martian comes by. He's like, yeah, they all died. They all fell into their deaths. And I'm glad they addressed it because I was thinking when he said he was the only survivor, I was like, you don't look wet though. You look as if you just strolled in.
You look like you just got off the bus.
So I'm glad he addressed that. He asked the question because I thought it was just something they were going to try and get away with, like, because Twilight Zone, it's of its time. Sometimes it'll try and get away with little things like that. I was like, no, please address this, and they did.
Do you think the show and like America is so obsessed with aliens invading Earth because we colonized America from the Native Americans? Yeah,
you're scared it's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Well, not you. You're Canadian.
As like karma. Oh yeah, Canada wasn't. Yeah, they gave up willingly. There's nobody there.
Canada just asked politely, and the natives went, "Yeah, sure."
Hey, you guys seem nice.
Yeah. There's too many moose around here for us to deal with anyway, so you can take up the fight.
I don't know, just popped in my head.
The Great Maple Syrup Wars of 1752.
I'm so glad that whoever won, everybody wins, because now there's maple syrup for everyone.
I love the idea that Canada had a civil war over maple syrup.
If anybody doesn't know, that's totally made up.
Yeah, I know. I was the one who made it up. Why are you telling me that?
I'm not telling you.
Good.
Just in case. Maybe some people get their history from our show.
No, there was totally a maple syrup civil war. There was the Canucks.
That's why they bring down the White House.
It was the Canucks on one side versus the Abootmen on the other side.
This is dying. Pretty good episode, though. I really enjoyed it. It's a fun one. And we're almost done.
We are almost done. This is the penultimate episode of the season. We have episode 29 next time is the final episode of season 2. And it'll be doing our top 10 of the season. So you can look forward to that. Rod Serling did tell us about next time. He did mention Burgess Meredith coming back once again. And we're getting a dystopian future episode. It's called The Obsolete Man. Here's the description on IMDb. In a future totalitarian society, a librarian is declared obsolete and sentenced to death. A librarian, you say? This is oddly in keeping with his character from the other episode, so that's interesting.
And Fritz Weaver is in it. We know him from Demon Seed. He was the husband.
Quite
and he's in lots of
right.
other things too. But
Oh, he made it to 90. That was a good run.
yeah,
It was a good run. Yeah.
very exciting.
Yeah. So that's the finale. It's weird to say it's got a finale because it's not really. I mean, Twilight Zone doesn't have finales in the same way that other shows do. But
Well, season 1 kind of had a special finale. I mean, Rod Serling was a character.
that's true. Okay, that's true. Yeah, they went meta with season 1, but I don't think they're doing that again or anything like it. But I mean, maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe next time we'll come in and say no, this was kind of special for X reason. But at least at face value, there's nothing screaming at me that this is going to be, special in that kind of way.
Right.
So, there you go.
Yeah,
that is.
I'm looking forward to it. I like the. I don't really remember this episode that's coming up, but I really like the description.
No, it sounds promising. And the average rating on IMDb also kind of promising. So, we will see what that is next time. So that has been Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? You can, of course, let us know what you think of the episode in the comments. Liking super important on YouTube. It lets the algorithm know that you think we're worth checking out, so more people will find us. So please do hit the like button. You can, of course, support us financially, can't you, Tara?
That's right. If you enjoy the show and want to get it early, why not check out our Patreon page? If you donate $5 per month, you will get access to the Twilight Zone episodes 1 week early. And if you donate $1 per month, you'll get bonus episodes of other shows we do. Thank you.
I like how you saved that because you realised that you jumped to the $5 perk, but you did you said it right.
Well, that's the Twilight Zone perk.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It's the one that's most relevant to this. But yeah, no, I get it. You're so confident at it now. You're actually shaking it up and you're doing different things with it.
I'm confident, but I still mess up almost every time.
That's part of the charm. Part of the charm. All right, there you go. That is about Twilight Zone. Guys on Twitter at @mailed_fuzz for channel updates. We always appreciate you checking out the show. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys, in the Twilight Zone.